Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Oluwatosin. If you're a new person coming on, good to have you here. Please do where to subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber or returning viewer that's not subscribed, you're welcome. But please do subscribe. Yeah, thank you. So today I'm going to be sharing an experience I had precisely when I was in 400 level and recently I was doing a Bible study and I just remembered, and it's just I got some lessons from that experience and I thought to share. So just as the title of this video says, how I got a scholarship out of the blues, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm going to say it exactly how it happened. So it happened that I did my bachelor's degree in the University of Lagos, and I came in through diploma. It's a program, something like, I don't know how to describe it now. Should I say P degree or something? Anyways, I came in directly into 200 level, so I didn't do 100 level. So I came into school and they were undergraduate scholarships. And I remember times I tried applying, but because of the fact that most of the scholarship require that you send your transcripts from 100 level, I wasn't qualified for most of the scholarships I saw, because obviously I didn't have any 100 level transcripts. So that's kind of stopped the process. And it was very, very frustrating, because I remember those days I would hear testimonies of people sharing how they got the scholarship and they got that scholarship. It was something I really desired to have. And many times I was always like, and I think there were some I probably even was able to attempt. I really can't remember anyways, but I remember for the most part of it I wasn't able to attempt apply for most of them, because of I didn't do an 100 level. So it was very frustrating, because I remember so many times then when I was in school, I was always praying, God, I need a scholarship. It was something I really wanted. I need a scholarship. And sometimes I remember at the point I was asking, I had to ask God, hey God, this about when you hear testimonies of this person got a scholarship, maybe some they even had more than one scholarship, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, God. And I remember asking God a question one time that, but God, I faithfully tithe, I give sometimes sacrificial and everything. I'm not saying this to boast or anything. I'm just trying to bring context. And I'll be like, why is it that it's like I'm sowing, but I'm not even getting any rewards? Like I'm not even reaping anything. I mean, that was a question I asked one time. I asked God one time, and it was frustrating, really. Then I remember there was this time I think during my 300 level, I applied for MasterCard scholarship, and I did not get it. So by the time 400 level came down, final year, I'd given up, giving hope. I was not looking forward to any scholarship. I just after all the frustration and everything, I didn't bother about scholarship. I didn't think about it. So one day, my daddy sent a MasterCard scholarship link to me, and it was like, apply for this scholarship. And when he sent it, I was just like, okay. I mean, it's not like I did my face to him like that or something, but I just told him, okay, sir. In my mind, it's a no-go area. I didn't even bother. Trust me, I did not apply for it. Because after all the several trials, after all the prayers, at that point I just given up, as there's no use. This thing is not for me. So after a while, my daddy came back and he was like he sent me a message, and I was like, have you applied for this scholarship? And I was like, okay, daddy, I will apply. So basically, I did it not with my heart. I applied because just so that I could, if he probably comes back again and asks me to say, have you applied again? So I don't look as I was being disrespectful or disobedient or something. So I just applied for it. And I remember even after applying for it, I completely removed my mind from it, because I was not expecting anything from it. So I don't remember praying about it. I don't remember praying that, oh God, let me get this scholarship. Because at that point, I was not expecting anything. I just did it because my daddy said I should do it. So, I mean, let me just do it. I wasn't expecting anything. And yes, I didn't pray about it. I didn't think about it. I didn't I don't think I prayed. If I prayed about it, it should just be once. And after that, I don't even remember praying about it. I don't remember thinking about it. So I've totally forgot. I literally totally forgot that I ever applied to that scholarship. So I remember where I was that day. That fateful day. So for those who attended Unilag, or those who are familiar with the Unilag environment, you remember Morimi Hostel. I went to check up on a friend, and I was sitting down on the veranda, that's open courtyard. I remember I was sitting there. I remember where I was exactly, and I was on my phone, and all of a sudden a foreign number called me, and I was like, what's going on? My mind did not even click on scholarship. Like, I've never had that they call people to accept their scholarships. So this number, the man on the other end was like, I've gotten the scholarship, but the deadline has passed or something. They noticed that I've not accepted it, and that I only have till the next day to accept the offer. If not, it will be declined or something. I mean, if not, it will be taken back or something. I was shocked. Something you're not even thinking about, something you do not even expect. I was shocked that, wait, though, is this real? Is this real? I mean, it was out of the blues for me, really. It was. I was not. I totally forgotten that I ever applied to a scholarship. That was it. I'd forgotten. But then another dilemma was the fact that he said I only had till the next day to accept, and I needed to do some things to accept the scholarship, not pay money, obviously. I can't remember exactly what I was supposed to. Maybe some sort of document. I really can't remember. But it was like I didn't have enough time to do that. So I remember after cutting off the call, I was like, God, this miracle cannot just happen and then I'll lose it all of a sudden. So immediately I called my dad, told him, Daddy, I've gotten the scholarship, but this is the issue on ground. I don't know how I'm going to meet up with the time and everything. And he just told me what to do. Sincerely, I can't even remember what it is I needed to do or something. Maybe I needed to submit a document or something like that. So I was like, God, I cannot just, after, something I was not even expecting. Now the miracle has come and then I'll now lose it again. I was like, no, this cannot happen. I shall pray and everything. And immediately I got this done and yes, I accepted the scholarship. That's not even the only testimony anyways. The second thing I noticed that when I got on the portal, as I said, I had forgotten about the scholarship, so I was not even checking the portal because there was the application portal where you see you. I even on the application portal, I saw the one I didn't get before. I told you I had applied earlier when I was in 300 level, but I didn't get it. I saw that application there. Then the second one, I didn't check the portal because I was not even expecting anything from it. And then I noticed that the deadline had already even passed before the man called me. So it was another miracle that the man called me still, and I was still able to accept that scholarship. It was, I looked at it and I was like, this was God. Now, the testimony does not end here. Eventually, when I got the money, or when I saw the amount that I was given, it was, at least I had an idea of what the normal undergraduate scholarships, the amount that students would get, at least I had an estimate amount. And I did a rough calculation. If I had gotten the scholarship, maybe if I had gotten the scholarship 200 level, 300 level, 400 level, add them up together. The amount I got from the Mastercard scholarship was double the sum of every other thing I would have gotten. And I'm not exaggerating because it was in dollars. This normal undergraduate scholarship, most of them are in naira. So this Mastercard scholarship was in dollars. So you can imagine if I convert it to dollars. So it was double all the scholarship that I've been, frustrated about I didn't get. And that's for me the major highlight of this testimony. The fact that, and when I over time I've had to think about it, I've had to, meditate on this and had to just stand in wonder as to what God can do. I told you earlier on that I was asking God, but I'm sowing faithfully, I've sacrificed, I've done my best, I've tried to apply. It's not like I'm lazy, it's not like I didn't have good grades and everything, but I've not been getting this thing. I can imagine God sitting down and telling me, it's because you don't know what I have in store. It's like God was like preparing when he says, what's that Bible verse that says, bring all your tithes into the storehouse and let it be meat in my house, and I will pour you out a blessing that your basket will not even be able to contain it. So like God was just preparing. It's like God was, I don't know that. I don't even know. God was packing everything. I was like, don't worry, what I'm preparing for you. Final year. I was in my final semester when I got this call. At that point, it wasn't making any sense to even apply. So at that point, I'd given up hope applying. But God had greater plans. Even though I had my desires and everything, God had bigger plans. God had bigger plans of how he would answer my prayer. And that's one lesson I want to point out of this. Probably you're here, you've tried all you can, you've been diligent, you've been hardworking, you've done your best, you've prayed, you've fasted about the situation, about the circumstance, and you're like, I don't understand what's going on. And probably you've been hearing other people's testimony. Maybe they've not even have done as much as you've done. Maybe they've not prayed as you've prayed. Maybe they've not made sacrifices as much as you have. And you're like, God, I'm serving you, God, I'm trusting you. I don't understand why nothing is happening. I want to encourage you that God, number one, he knows all your sacrifices, he sees them, he understands what you're going through, he knows how you feel, your frustration, your failures, he knows how you feel. So don't give up. Don't think that God doesn't understand. Keep on praying, keep on trusting him. The funny thing is, God does not always answer our prayers when we expect it. As I said with my story, it was when I was not expecting it, when I was not even praying about it, when I was not thinking about, when I'd given up hope on it, that was when God showed up. And that leads me to my second lesson. When God decides to show up, he doesn't just show up, he shows up big. So there's every possibility that probably, I'm not saying that's final, I would have not applied for this one if it came, and I would have probably missed out on the bigger one that God had in store. So probably there's something you've been asking God for. It's probably God has not answered because it's not your time, and because he has something way bigger than what you are even asking or expecting. One of my favorite verses for this is, unto him who is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that I ask or think, according to his power that works in me. And I've seen God come through in so many ways, especially when I'm not expecting it. It just shows up. When it shows up, when God shows up. If you check through the Bible, check through the miracles you see in the Bible, every time God shows up, He shows up big. And the verse I told you I was meditating on that even made me to remember this experience was Luke chapter 5, verse, I think from verse 1 to I think 6 or something, you know, where the disciples were, the Bible says they were toiling all night, they had toiled through the night, they had used their experience, their expertise, they had spent time. These men were not lazy men, they were hardworking, they had done their best. And the morning came and they were already packing their stores. The Bible says they were washing their nets. And it was at that point, after they had given up, after that point, after they've, you know, they've done all they've done whatever they wanted to do, that God now came and Jesus Christ, like I said, launch into the deep. And it was at that point the Bible says they got the amount of fishes they got was bigger than what they could have. I mean, it's to the point that the Bible said their nets break. It was something they had never experienced in all their life, in all their experience in the fishing and everything. If you know, these men were experienced men. These were men that knew the tactics, they knew the strategies and everything. So when Christ came into the picture, the harvest they got was way bigger than what they had ever experienced. And that's something about God, that when He decides to show up, He doesn't show up small, He shows up big. So this is an encouragement to you. Whatever it is you're asking God, you're waiting on God for, if it's not the right time, trusting that when it's time, He will show up. And when He shows up, He will show up big. He will show up bigger than what you expect Him to do. So don't give up. Another lesson was the fact that I obeyed my daddy. So, initially when He asked me to apply, I did not apply. And one lesson I got from that there are times when God, uses people to draw us to have lessons. God left me alone, I would not have applied for it, because at that point I'd given up. So God can also use other people to lead us to the harvest, the blessings He has for us. And I just pray that we'll just be sensitive enough and discern, and His mercy will just come through, that when it's time for Him to bless us, and when He sends people across our way, or when He brings an opportunity, we'll not give up to despair and to doubt and to unbelief, but we will trust in faith and we'll enter into the harvest that He has prepared for us. So and one thing again is that sometimes one reason why God may not come when you're expecting Him is because He wants to make a statement. He wants to, thinking of the disciples, by the time Jesus Christ told them to launch into the deep, there was no place where they would have said, oh, it was because of their expertise or because of their hard work of toiling through the night or spending time. There are times when God decides to show up so that we won't have a place to say, it's because of what I did or it's because of my efforts. I'm not saying those things are invalid. They are very valid. It's necessary. There are times when it's a hard work that will lead us to what we need or what we desire, what we're asking for. But there are times also that God just wants to make a statement that He is the one. He is the one. He's the one, and no one will take His glory. So take this as an encouragement. If you are trusting God for something, trust Him and keep on trusting. Keep on trusting. As long as it's within God's will, as long as it's within God's plan, and when it is time, it is time. When God says it is time, and it will show up big for you. So yes, so this is my experience. And whatever, it may not be a scholarship, it may be something else, but whatever it is you're trusting God for, please don't give up. Well, maybe there's something you've even given up on already, and you're like, this one is not for me. Well, get ready. God is ready to show up big for you, and He's going to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you ask or think, according to His power that worketh in you. So I've come to the end of my story. It's a real life story. It's not just a fictional story, but it's the story. And please, if this video has blessed you, I'd like to know the lessons you picked from it. And yeah, do well to share it in the comment section, and please don't forget to subscribe and also share the link to this video. Thank you for listening. Till I come your way again. I hope it didn't take more than that before. Anyways, thank you. See you next time. Bye.